Alright, I'm going to try this one more time. I did a little video, it went way too long. Here's what's going on. Making some chicken stock. Just found a new way to make it. Going to give this little shout out of a tip. I've been making chicken soup for years and years. The way I make chicken soup is I put a chicken in a pot, I cover it with water, there's some stuff in there, you know, onion, celery, carrot, whatever. Cook it for 2 hours, take everything out, strain it, and then you've got your broth and you can do what you want with it. Oh, was I wrong? Here's what I'm doing this time. Had some. Oh, Charlotte, please stop dumping things out on your napkin. I don't like that. Napkins are for wiping faces only, okay? Alright. Please, thank you. I actually cooked some chicken legs, whole chicken legs, not just drumsticks, because it's cheaper for me to get the chicken that way than to get a whole chicken. If you're buying regular chicken at the store, that might not be the case, but the kind of chicken I'm getting, it is cheaper for me to get it that way. Anyway, plus I find when you're cooking something meat for a long time, the dark meat holds up better and is more flavorful and it has better texture, so I'm all over it anyway. So I'm getting 4 chicken legs. This is what I did. Stuck them in a crock pot, salt and pepper, cooked them on high for 3 hours. Falling off the bone, done. Picked the meat off. Took the bones, put them in a pot, covered them with water. I put in trimmings of onions and carrots and celery from the week, and then another half an onion. Bring it to a boil, turn it to a simmer, and then you simmer it. Oh, and put in a tablespoon of vinegar. I guess that helps draw out the flavor from the bones. Simmer it for 6 hours. I'm on hour 2.5. People, it's so much more flavorful of a broth in 2.5 hours than cooking the whole freaking chicken was in 2. What's up? What? I forgot to what? To do what? To get the dirt out? I don't know what you're saying. Okay, anyway, so I can't imagine how fantastic it's going to be by hour 6. Anyway, just had to share that little tip. Alright, here's what I really want to talk about. In-laws. Here's the deal. If you're wondering, and how could you not be? They do not contact us. Technically, I guess we don't contact them. But I'm at the point where I have pretty much lost all respect for them. When I say that to Mr. F, he says, I can understand where they're coming from. And I'm kind of like, seriously? There's no excuse for what they're doing at this point. In my book. He can, in his only understanding is like, well, I understand that it's awkward for them. You know what I say? Get over yourself. The feelings of 60-year-olds should maybe not be as important as the feelings of your 6-year-old granddaughter. You know what I'm saying? She asks about them and wonders when they're going to come visit her, and what can I even say to that? Probably never, you know, like, oh, they hate me, they're not going to come. The thing that is always, what is frustrating is that the whole thing went bad. Okay, the relationship went bad, obviously. But from the beginning, I've just tried diligently for years to try to make there be a closeness. And so, I mean, eventually I got so frustrated and beaten down and, you know, angry that maybe I acted out a little more than I should have. Although I did it in a way that I thought was okay for myself. And that's where things went bad. But the point is, that should not negate the years I tried to make it, you know, or the fact that, like, my heart was in the right place for years, really it was. And my feelings have been now, you don't need to like me, you know, but you need to make an effort to have a relationship with your grandkids. And if you don't, then that is completely on you. That's no longer my fault or has anything to do with me. If you don't call them, you don't visit them, you don't, I mean, if it were me and it were my grandkids and my son, I would do anything I could to make it work out. I mean, I would call and be like, I understand this is an awkward situation, how can we make it work, you know, like, could we come down and stay at a hotel and visit you guys, you know, could we, you know, would you guys like to stay at the hotel? I mean, anything to try to figure something out, you know. They don't do anything, they don't even call. And I know that what they believe they're doing is they're holding out until he calls. If he's not going to call, they're not going to call. Well, here's the thing. He has called. In fact, he even in April took the girls to visit them. And they were surprised and happy, but it didn't result in any kind of follow-up. So, now they don't call, they don't do anything, they don't communicate with the kids. I mean, they just sent today, I received a birthday box for Ruby, but that's it. There is no, she doesn't need your gift. She either needs you in her life or not. You know what I mean? In fact, getting a gift from someone who refuses to talk to you or see you starts to maybe give you some confused feelings. And it is difficult when she asks about them to be like, what are you going to say? Like, I'm sorry, their feelings, are hurt, so they're going to hurt your feelings. It's just that immature and ridiculous. And I really have really zero respect for it now. And now it's getting to the point where I feel like, I don't even know if I can view them as people that I even want to be around my kids, So, that's what I'm saying. That is where it's at. Socks off now? Alright. Okay. So that is where it's at. They don't call. They don't communicate. Mr. F did go there. Didn't follow up with any kind of communication call. Oddly, his mom does send random forwarded emails that don't pertain to anything, the kind, to him, but there's no actual communication. It's just so weird. It is so weird. And he even called them like he needed something. I don't know. He called them a couple months ago, and there was no follow-up call from them. Nothing. And what makes it even more bizarre is we get these emails of pictures of one of his sister's kids, which is nice. It's kind of sad to say that, we have no part in your family. But what's even more sad and disappointing is that his parents go and make the effort to visit those kids, you know what I mean? And so then I can't show those pictures to the kid. Pick that up? Because that's going to hurt her feelings. She's old enough to get it. I don't think we're going to watch Blue's Clues, but you could collect your leaves and you could make another leaf project. I don't think so. Maybe you should find a piece of paper and we'll put some glue on it and you can stick your leaves on. You want to do that? Yeah? That'll be fun. Okay, I'll come help you. So, you know what I'm saying. It's disappointing. I don't have a whole lot of understanding or tolerance for it at this point. At this point, I really think it is all about, let's say that's what the message is. It's all about them, They're really only looking at it from their point of view, and they're only worried about their own feelings. And I just think, take a risk, people. I just can't tolerate that. What's the worst thing that's going to happen now? You know what I mean? The worst thing that's going to happen is you have zero relationship with your son or grandchildren, and you're accomplishing that completely on your own. All right.